right, we are here with Todd Tuckey of TNT Amusements. And it only took, how many years did it take me to get it right to be Todd instead of Tom? How many years did it take me?
Oh man, I kept so useless. Todd TNT.
I got there in the end though.
But he did. He did finally get it, and the last 2 years, maybe 3, he's called me Todd.
Yep. And of course the fact that you have a cane to beat me with if I don't does help in that regard.
Yep, the feet get worn out here. Even though there's carpet. So the carpet tends to let people stay on the floor an extra hour.
Oh, another machine, a Circus Volcano coming in. Nice machine to come in for the free ballroom.
I'm getting a call from my shop.
Ah.
I wonder what it could be about. Hello? Can I call you back in 5 minutes? Who? I am. I'll call you in 5 minutes. Bye-bye.
See. So
he was being mean. He said I was signing my trading cards. I have a new one this year.
Let's see.
That's my new trading card.
Oops. Let's get that. Superstars of 22. There we are.
And I'm admiring a Joust pinball by Barry Ausler. The Joust was a cocktail table pinball machine. They only made 400 of it. It was a disaster when it came out. And now everybody and their mother wants it.
It's amazing. Are there machines that surprised you in their popularity? I mean, you've seen just about everything in this business.
Yes.
Is there a machine that you said, there's no way this machine's going to go anywhere, and it just took off and caught you completely by surprise?
That's actually a really great question. There were certain... See, I have to compare money-wise if the machines made money, or B, collecting-wise. There's a bunch of games that didn't make any money and then stopped making it. Now, as a matter of fact, a perfect example is Joust, the cocktail table. You can play by yourself, and then your flippers would flip the 2 flippers on the opposite playfield, because the playfield was like this. So each of you had a playfield, and your players played opponents, one on the other side. And they thought it was going to be the greatest game of all time, but it wasn't. Nobody wanted to play it. It took up a lot of room, and you had to hug a wall, and somebody had to be at each end, and people didn't get it. And it tested poorly, very poorly. And they only made 400 of them, and then that was the end of that. The machine disappeared, literally disappeared.
Hey, can I have your autograph?
You know, this cretin gave us trouble last year. Show that boy. Stephen, don't be mean. We're going to karaoke
I forgot, you're filming all the time.
Wow, what an awful man. Disturbing our video. See, the video, the purpose of these videos is for you to learn stuff. So, Joust was a surprise. There was another game called Valley Transporter. They only made 700 of them. And I thought the game was terrific. I really did. And everybody that plays it says, this is a great game. What happened? It's the time. It's the time. So a game comes out, there's too many games, they're pushing another game out the door. I guess you could say the same reason why the Edsel, the original ad campaign about the Edsel was the car that makes sense. And guess what? Nobody wanted it. They just didn't want it. So I guess it's marketing. Now, of course, the Edsel's a lot of money, because it's collectible. They're Joust pinballs. You're not going to buy one of these for under $8,000.
The question is it a fun game to play?
I think it's fun when you understand what you're doing. If you walk up to it and just start the game, you're not going to understand. You need to sit and learn what it is, and then if it's in your house, you have that leisure. You have where you can sit and learn how the game plays. Say, hey, this is fun. Like if you went over to your friend's house, and he had it on free play, and you played it for half an hour with him, an hour, you'd fall in love with the game.
Now, there's been a rise in pinball rentals companies. I know my son's, over the last 6 months, rented me 2 pinball machines, one at Christmas time and one at my birthday. And I played them to pieces for 2 or 3 months. Just had a great time with them. Do you see the rental market as something to keep things going at a time when inflation is hitting the market and might slow things down?
Of course. The rental price is low. I think I heard the rental was $650 for 2 months. I think that's what I heard.
Yeah, there's 2 companies in the area that rent, at least around here.
You get a new game. It's what they call a pro, one that would retail for about $7,000. So for $650, you get to play the heck out of it for 2 months. Now, the advantage of that is after you play 400, 500, 600 games, you may not be as thrilled about playing it, and then you won't turn the game on as much. So if you only have it 2 months and you know you're in a time restraint, you play the heck out of it, learn it, have fun with it, and then move on.
You mentioned that in one of your seminars that when a game is bought, people tend to play it big for the first few months and then it goes down, sort of like getting married and other things. With so many people entering the hobby, if you had to pick a machine for someone who's a novice, just to get into the machine, one to get into the hobby to play, and one to get into the hobby as in, this is a machine worth buying, what are the machines you would say, start with these?
A great, near perfect game that you can get for about $4,000 or less is Williams' 1986 Pinbot, because
excellent
multi-level, multi-play, an incredibly great soundtrack, beautifully programmed and designed by Barry Osler, and it's a near perfect game. You can't get any better. There's not a lot to break down, and
it was unique when it came out too. It was really
beautiful
something.
Piece. And the other thing is you may be able to find what we call a beater, one where the playfield's worn, where the cabinet's beat up, and get a real good deal on it. But mechanically, it'll play fine, especially if you wax the playfield. Even if the playfield's worn, if you have a coat of wax on it, ball will fly around the playfield.
Now, with gas as high as it's been lately, has it affected people sending in machines for repairs and so forth?
I stopped taking machines in for repair.
Oh,
we're too busy. So I'm telling people next spring, over a year from now. But we have servicemen that will drive to their houses to fix it. So I can still fix your game, we just won't do an overhaul because we're too busy.
It's amazing. Well, if you're that busy with just that, that's a good sign for the. Now, when you started doing your videos, I mean, it's sort of like, I think of the Missouri Star Quilt Company, where the woman who started that company just started to do a few videos, and then she became the face of quilting nationally. And in a sense, you've become the face of pinball nationally online. How is that an odd thing?
My bank account reflected that. A lot of people have said, you know, I've introduced pinball to them, and a lot of people have actually come up and told me that they never were interested until I showed them how much fun they are. The real odd thing is I can't physically play pinball very well at all. I'm a terrible player. But with the glass off, I can play really well. Now, I like the toys, I like the programming, the overall beauty of the design, the quality of the machine, the music. It's all a package deal. And there's some great cheap games out there, like Jacks to Open, a simple card playing theme with a simple soundtrack. It's fun to play. And you can get something inexpensive and learn it. Even the dullest game has something good to show for it. It does something. And once again, it's probably better to try a better game to get people interested. But if you have to start with an older, cheaper game, do it. You never know. You never know when you'll be bitten by the magic.
Would you advise newer people to stay away from the old mechanicals?
Well, games made prior to '77 are what you just said, mechanical. They have a bunch of relays that do this, and no electronics. When you have thousands, literally 3,000, 4,000 switches doing it, maybe not that many, but if one switch is out of adjustment, it's quite possible the game won't reset because one switch is not being made. And the fact that the machines work initially are amazing, but think of the one switch as a transistor on this big board.
And you have to find
one transistor is bad, the board won't work. But the newer boards, a lot of the circuit boards have diagnostics built into them, and it'll say, oh, this transistor's out. It's so easy to fix a digital game, 77 and newer. But a mechanical game requires your eyes and hopefully the print of the game, the schematic. So you can see, if it's not resetting, you can see everything that should be closing and opening for that part of the circuit. So I don't recommend a mechanical game for a newbie, unless they're very handy.
What's the most fun about this for you?
About this?
I mean, basically the revival of pinball. You come to an event like this. What's the most fun about it for you?
Well, first of all, a show like this, the people make it fun. So the people are number one, the machines are number two. Most people can start to play and talk to other people as they're playing. Yes, you're one-on-one with the machine, but if you play multiplayer, you can discuss what your strategy is. Of course, you're trying to beat the crap out of the other player. You may not want to do that. But if you play teams, player 1 and 3 is team 1, player 2 and 4 is team 2, then you can have a lot of fun discussing what you're going to do next. And that's for somebody that can learn how to aim the ball. It's a skill game. It's not random, it's not luck. It's skill. You have to develop the skill on how to hit the ball the right way.
All right, and I know this is going to be redundant for most of the people who are going to watch this video, but if people want to see your videos online or want to find out about your business, where should they go online?
TNTAmusements.com is our website. If you go on YouTube, just type into the search bar TNT Amusements, and then you'll find our channel. We have over 1,700 episodes. We cover everything. So, mechanics, how they work, how to play, the secrets, tons of stuff. I haven't covered everything. I never will. Because it just takes forever to make the videos. Just like you. It's tough. You have to be able to sit down, put it up. Now, if you don't have to edit, you're good. But it's hard.
Well, you edit. You put some serious effort into your videos. I don't put in the same effort. I basically trust my luck and trust that I have an interesting person to interview, and you certainly fill that bill.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pleased to be here again, and we hope to see you next year.
As long as I'm still above ground and able to move.
Make sure you watch all my other videos that he filmed me up. I expect thumbs up. I expect a nice comment that you think I'm great.
But don't forget to catch the video of my wife walking in on us angry.
Oh,
that was funny.
We'll call that the dialed-in disaster.
Yeah, that was funny.
Filming dialed in.
I remember that. Oh, she was ready, and then it became a smile when she realized she was on film. I'm on film.
It was a neat transpiration.
Well, she's a neat wife. 34 years of it. It's pretty neat.
She puts up with it.
Anyone who puts up with me, hey, you're putting up with me. That in itself is a miracle.
Thanks again.
Thank you.
Come to the show, I'll give you a card.
All right.
Adios.